I'm Tara Janes, and this is my presentation on competition and interspecies relationships. I will be talking about the following species interactions: competition, predation, parasitism, herbivory, amensalism, mutualism, and commensalism. Competition occurs when multiple organisms seek the same limited resource, such as food, water, space, or shelter. Members of the same species fighting for the same resource, like two hyenas fighting for the same antelope, is called intraspecific competition. Interspecific competition is two or more species fighting for the same resource, like animals vying for water at a watering hole. Animals that have equal access to the resource is species coexistence. Elmer can hunt anytime. That's his fundamental niche. Ricky has more influence over the resource and competitively excludes Elmer during the day. Elmer adjusts his habits to minimize competition. His realized niche is hunting at night, and he raises his young to do the same. Elmer partitioned the resources he had in common with Ricky, and this nocturnal behavior was passed to his young. Interactions where one member exploits another for its own gain at the expense of the other is exploitative interaction. All living organisms have to consume a food source. Most animals require the consumption of other living organisms. In Elmer's case, he consumes rabbits. Elmer is a predator, and the rabbits are his prey. This act is called predation. Predation can sometimes drive cyclical population dynamics. There's a decrease in predators, and rabbits are reproducing like crazy. Elmer is thriving on rabbits, and he starts reproducing puppies with longer, happier lives. Parasitism, a symbiotic relationship between species where one species, the parasite, benefits at the expense of the other, the host. Free-living social parasites do not come into frequent contact with their hosts. The cuckoo bird has another host species raise its young. Other parasites live inside their host, like the tapeworm. It lives inside the digestive tract of its host. There are parasites that live on the outside of their host, like a tick that attaches to its host's skin. Parasitoids often kill their host. Parasitoid wasps lay eggs on caterpillars. The eggs hatch, the larvae burrows into the caterpillars and slowly consumes the caterpillar. Herbivory occurs when animals feed on the tissues of plants. Most of the time, herbivory does not kill the plant, but it may affect its growth and reproduction. Plants, much like prey, have evolved to have defenses like thorns or chemicals that are toxic or distasteful. Plants are even known to recruit certain animals as allies. Some plants have encouraged ants to take up residence near their stem by producing nectar-bearing structures for them to feed from. Amensalism is an organism that secretes a chemical that adversely affects competing species, but not itself. Non-exploitative interactions are not harmful to the parties involved. Mutualism is a true partnership between species. In the relationship, both parties benefit from each other. We have a symbiotic mutualistic relationship with species of bacteria in our digestive tract. We provide a place for that bacteria to live, and they in turn help us to digest our food. The pollinators, like hummingbirds, bees, and bats, have a mutualistic relationship that are not symbiotic. Commensalism occurs when one species benefits and the other is not affected at all. The cattle egret hangs around the cattle to eat the bugs that are stirred up by the cattle. The cattle is just moving along grazing in the pasture and is totally unaffected. This is commensalism. Thank you for listening to my presentation.
Created using Powtoon.